So Nikki Haley is out teaching us how to implode your presidential campaign in one day. Charlie Kirk thinks he knows Nikki Haley's real name, and he thinks her real name is Nimarata Haley. Sorry, Charlie. No. Her real name is Hillary Clinton. Her real name is Hillary Clinton, as the Federalist told us this summer with their article in August telling us that Hillary Clinton is basically the embodiment of Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley is Hillary 2.0. We're seeing that she's a pro-war, neocon, censorship, anti-First Amendment Hillary Clinton. So, yes, Charlie, you thought her name... What was the old tuna fish commercial? Sorry, Charlie. It's not Nimarata Haley. It's Hillary Clinton. It's Hillary Clinton. And here's she speaking yesterday. Here's Hillary Clinton yesterday on the Ruthless podcast. Listen what she says about how she wants everyone's
They
name.
need to verify every single person on their outlet and I want it by name.
She wants it by name. I think she's talking about Twitter.
Because
what about Smug? Does he qualify?
I've provided them with my government.
If Smug is on your driver's license, then, and look, you can put...
She's taking names. If Smug is on your driver's license, then it's okay with her. Forget, by the way, the Federalist Papers were written under pseudonyms. And, hey, I prefer to use my real name, and whenever I see somebody using, comfortably Smug or some type of alias, I always take that with a grain of salt. I do believe that you should use your own name if I think that's better, but, that's a choice, and no way would I ever want to take that away from anybody like Hillary Clinton wants to, also known as Nikki Haley. She wants to take it away.
Smug in parentheses, but I want everybody's name.
She wants everybody's name on social media because that's going to crack down on the bots. We have to crack down on the bots because the bots are sending messages. Hey, listen, if you want to compete in the free market ideas, the only way to defeat bad ideas is with more good ideas. Didn't we learn this from, some guy wrote a book at some point, right? And we had a strong reminder about that over the pandemic not too long ago. Of course, we're all talking about what Nikki Haley said on Fox the other day. And I know you've already seen this quote, but it's worth hearing again, especially when you hear Harris Faulkner, the lady with the large eyebrows or eye makeup. You know who I'm talking about. And how she says in the background, accountability. She's all on board for the censorship.
When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts, social media companies,
it's the first thing she wants to do. There's no other top priority. This is her top priority.
Have to show America their algorithms. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is
so the government gets to see all the algorithms because the government needs to make sure that what's being put out is the truth. This is Hillary Clinton 2.0.
Person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat.
It's for your security.
You do that, all of a sudden people have to stand by what they say, and it gets rid of the Russian bots, the Iranian bots, and the Chinese.
It just solves everything. All the problems will be solved. That's why it's our first priority.
Spots. And then you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say.
Accountability.
And they know their past.
Notice Harris Faulkner in the background. Accountability. Oh, she's totally on board because the mainstream media does not want you to compete against them. They do not like the competition. You're hurting Harris's ratings, right? So when she said this on Fox and then she went on the Ruthless podcast and said the same thing, once you kind of start dropping these things, then a lot of people start digging up other stupid things that Nikki, Nimrata, Hillary Clinton 2.0 have said. And she said something on the Ruthless podcast that was equally stupid, and fortunately it's been clipped. And I'm going to bring it to you here from Trisha McLaughlin from Ohio. She's on Team Vivek Ramaswamy. Here she is here saying that if you criticize her, it's really because you're anti-women. You're anti-woman. Here she is here. More stupidity from Hillary Clinton 2.0.
What happens? He comes out of the gate.
And she's talking about Vivek.
He hits the female chair of the party.
And she didn't mean physically hit. He means criticize, which Vivek did brilliantly. Brilliantly.
He hits the female anchor.
Oh my God, you criticized her, and she's a woman. How dare you criticize anybody that's a woman?
On the platform, and then he hits me. And I'm not saying.
And obviously, if you criticize 3 women in a row, obviously you have a girl problem. Clearly. It's like right out of Hillary Clinton book.
Anything.
I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
But he might have a girl problem.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Aren't you sick? Aren't you possibly sick of people saying, hey, if you criticize a black person, obviously you're a racist? Aren't you sick of hearing that? But basically, Nikki Haley is saying the exact same thing about women. If you criticize a woman, especially if you criticize me, you're anti-woman. You have a girl problem. You have a girl problem. And I'm like, aren't we sick of that? Aren't we much smarter than that? Cannot we comment on somebody's argument, somebody's positions, someone's actions, separate that from whatever shape or whatever color or whatever organs they have, or, you know, their, how do we say that? The things that they can't control, right? Can't we just focus on the merits of their argument? Why do we have to put up this shield? You can't criticize me because I'm a woman. And you can't criticize Rana because she's a woman. And you can't criticize the anchor that's moderating the bit because she's a woman. Oh, my God, let's just focus on the merits of the argument. Because Vivek had very, very strong merits on the argument. But to throw up this barricade that says you can't criticize me because I'm a woman, that is just Hillary 2.0, right? It's just Hillary. Malcolm Flex says the parties are literally the same. This is our Hillary. Wow, how lucky are we? There are some people in the Republican Party that are not the same, and Vivek would definitely be falling into that category. Trump is not the same as the Democrats, but we do have many people in the Republican Party that are basically the same as Democrats, right? The Uniparty, you've heard that before. You've heard of that before. You can go, if you want to ruin your day, you can go to the Ruthless podcast and hear all of the stupidity about Nikki Haley over at YouTube if you want to. Please don't. You'll just ruin your day. Here's just one other thing that was dredged up on Nikki Haley today from Citizen Free Press. God bless Citizen Free Press, my favorite website. So she thinks that Social Security is going to go bankrupt in 10 years, and she thinks, it starts off like this sounds logical, but she thinks that she's going to fix Social Security for 25-year-olds, and that will solve the insolvency problem in 10 years. This could be the stupidest financial situation I've ever heard. Go ahead,
in 10
Nikki.
years. Medicare goes bankrupt in 8. Anyone that says they're not going to take on entitlement reform means they're going to go in and be president and leave the country bankrupt. You can't do that. Yes, we have to do entitlement reform.
Okay, so yes, we have to do entitlement reform, absolutely, but listen to her solution.
But that doesn't mean you touch anyone that's in the system.
We have to do entitlement reform, but we can't touch anybody that's in the system. So basically, we have to touch it for people that have not yet worked a day in their life. So anybody under 18.
We should keep our promises. America should always keep her promises. But for everybody coming into the system, like my kids in their 20s, you
Like her kids in the 20s, they've already worked.
change it. You say we're going to raise the retirement age to reflect life expectancy.
How is that going to solve the problem if we're bankrupt in 10 years? Because, right? How's that solved? I don't see how that works.
We're no
And Sorkin, who's usually falls hook, line, and sinker for this BS, he doesn't get it either.
longer going to do cost of living increases. We're going to do increases based on inflation. We're going to limit the benefits on the wealthy. And we're going to expand Medicare Advantage plans so that we have more competition. We have to start looking at a common sense way to do it without hurting people, but our kids know they're not going to get it otherwise.
I'm not sure. Can you make the math work if you just focus on the generation that's walking into Social Security for the first? So if you're 18 years old now, I think you have to probably, unfortunately, approach folks like me.
So even Sorkin doesn't buy it. Even Sorkin doesn't. If you're fixing it for people that are just walking in now that are 18, how is that going to save Social Security that theoretically goes bankrupt in 10 years, maybe even before that? Like, not even he buys it. Not even the mainstream sycophant drive-by buys it. But, boy, you better be using your right name. You better be using your right name. Thank you, Charlie Kirk, for putting this up, by the way. Pretty funny. But really, her real name is Hillary Clinton. All right, I'm John F. Gately, broadcasting to you from beautiful Plymouth, America's hometown, high above Town Square in Massachusetts. Have a great day. Bye-bye.